Hey guys, my name is Jordan Griffith, and this is my informative speech. This is my live studio audience. This is Brandon Clark, Bryce Baxter, Matthew Fast, and Cameron Crawford. Today, I will be doing a speech on the study of hunting and the benefits that it has. First thing we're going to kind of move into is the general purpose of this is just to inform, to let everybody know here kind of what I want to explain. The next thing is that I want to talk about is my thesis, which is from controlled hunts and land management, killing is safer more than PETA. Moving on to my first slide, I have a biblical perspective. It's Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fishes in the sea, the birds in the sky, and over the livestock and all the wild animals, and all of the creatures that move along the ground." So this tells me right off the bat that in a biblical perspective, that we as mankind have been given control and power over these animals to manage them properly. Moving on from that, let's talk money. Everyone cares about money in America, so let's make that our main point that we have. The first thing that we're going to bring up is let's compare hunting to the top organization of saving and preserving wildlife, which is PETA. Moving on, let's talk money. Hunting. $300 million is the average of bring-in for private hunts to wildlife conservation each year. Rare and exotic hunts can pay up to $350,000 on average for a chance to harvest an animal. There was actually a study, or not really a study, but there was an event going down in 2015 where people had a chance to harvest a white rhino that has moved past its breeding age. It was becoming angry, old, and violent, and it was starting to actually harm other rhinos. The sale was supposed to go for $1 million. Because PETA got involved and started threatening people that were going to bid on it, it actually only went for $350,000, costing the wildlife conservation $750,000. $746 million in license and public fees make up about half the income that go to wildlife refuges. So hunting license, public land license, everything like that, all of those funds go back into the wildlife conservation. $4.2 billion in taxes since 1937. The Peterman-Robertson Act, which is a 10% tax on any firearms, ammunition, or hunting gear, has been put in state since 1937, and as a total, we have paid $4.2 billion. Every year, American hunters raise around $1 billion in total for wildlife reserves and land purchases. That is through hunts, through our taxes, through everything. At least $1 billion goes back in to the land and purchasing and preserving and growing. Moving on, this is hunting. Let's talk about PETA. In 2016, PETA reported they brought in $67 million, which only $15 million was actually given back to the animals. What happened to the rest of the money? Everything else was spent on humans. $7.6 million on membership development, $16 million on public outreach and education, so those buckets of blood that they threw on people, that actually came out of that line of budget. $9 million on campaigns to raise their awareness, and the rest was spent on smaller amounts, but still to humans. There was merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff that was going into effect that PETA spent, not on the animals. Moving on from money, let's talk about diseases, food shortage, and destruction. Diseases. The EHD disease, or the ectrozotic harem-hemorrhagid disease, and the CWD, the chronic wasting disease, and other major diseases can be caused by overpopulation. Increases in illnesses. When a lot of animals get close together, they're getting sicker closer together. Increase in ticks. This is actually more harmful to humans, like yellow mountain tick fever. When more animals get in the area, more ticks get in the area, and they can get on humans. Disease, the food sent to our markets. When animals get into disease and they go off into wildlife refuges and stuff like that, then those foods can actually get contaminated, and so the meat that you find in the market can be diseased. We'll go into our food shortage. Animals eat more in their lives than anything else. I don't know if y'all have ever actually had the privilege to study animals before, but they will actually only sleep about 4 to 6 hours a day and the rest of that time they're spent grazing around, moving around the land. I have deer that are in the pinery, and I get to watch them all day long. They do nothing but constantly eat. They'll rest for like 45 minutes, get back up, eat. That's all they constantly do. Too many animals means not enough food for everyone. Simple math. If you only have 5 apples and 20 deer, animals aren't going to eat. Once all the food is gone in the area, they move to the next one. Once I have deer that live in the back of my yard throughout the year, once they've cleared off all the bushes and shrubbery, they will actually move on. Moving to destruction. Texas alone pays $400 million in damages a year done for overpopulation of feral hogs alone. That is just from the overpopulation of the hogs. Hogs not only destroy the crops, like in this picture I have right here, but they can also destroy watering holes that are used by other animals. So if you have a watering hole that is used for cattle and feral hogs get into it, they can actually destroy it, cause the well to go dry, or they can also make the water so muddy and polluted that they can't use it. They destroy the lands by making giant holes in the ground and have caused other animals like horses to fall and injure themselves. They burrow down in the ground with their snouts, and also, you know what happens? A horse puts his foot in it, he falls, and breaks his leg, and we all know what we do to that horse. Take it to the vet, because you just don't shoot a horse because it has a broken leg. They have been known to destroy children's parks and residential homes. That's not making anything up. In 2014, a pack of feral hogs made its way through a small town in Texas and completely destroyed a children's park and the house next to it. Finish up with my conclusion. You can help animals more if you went out, bought a gun, a hunting license, paid to hunt on the land in which to guide, harvest the animal, and get a freezer full of meat. And that will help anything more than what PETA's ever done or any other organization. That concludes my speech, and I hope it was informative. Thank you very much. And that's it.